would fall on the kitchen floor and make stupid noises. Yeah. His eyes would flash at me. But there's other people. Robert De Niro's in it. Robert De Niro gets blacklisted, and he has to do Panto with Sue Pollard. And he plays Puss or Puss in Puss in Boots with and Sue Pollard, you know.
Right.
And he discovers that the world of Panto is even tougher than the machismo.
Yes.
Are you looking at me, world of
And
New York, you know?
all of these same things all come out of,
Yeah.
they're all your ideas. What kinds of minds do you have?
No, I take these very interesting tablets. no, I don't. Yeah.
And it's all very well scripted. I mean,
it's all completely scripted, yeah. Oh, yes. It's a show I did a couple of years ago called Napoleon, and it's like that. It's all completely scripted. We've been rehearsing for the last month. And we're going off around the country, the plug bit.
Oh, no.
Here we go, plug. Reading and Birmingham and exotic, Newcastle, Cardiff, Belfast, Bath, and then into the Haymarket, hopefully. It's looking like being the Haymarket at the moment.
But you never lose yourself. I mean, there's only you, and if you're on stage with an actor and there's somebody else, you can all bounce off one another and you can save one another and pick up, you know, somebody.
I've given myself some very tricky bits to do in this. There's one sequence where Robert De Niro falls out with his character and he starts beating himself up. And then in this fight, I go head over heels, and then I have to become Martin Scorsese, the director. He tries to break up the fight, and he can't tell if he's talking to De Niro or De Niro's character. And then De Niro quotes a bit of Brief Encounter and turns into Celia Johnson, so it's even more complicated. So the Rachmaninoff comes on.
How do you do, quick request for an impression, which I know is impossible at this time of the morning, but how do you do Sue Pollard and Robert De Niro, one after the other?
Well, she tries to seduce him. She goes up, she says, I know she does.
Well, the panto bloke is called Billy Twinkle, that's it. He's working with Billy. It's difficult to have a panto person, you know. Panto's actually the most serious thing in the world. They make their own costumes. And he's sort of explaining to Bob, and Bob's sort of going, he's trying to explain to Bob that he's got to do Dick's friend. Of course, Bob's going, I don't do friends, you know, I only do the big guy, you know. And then Sue comes on and she says, I don't know. She says, what's the line again? Hey, you're not Bob Holness, are you? Fancy feeling me gold spot? And all this sort of stuff's going on. And he's sort of, and De Niro's trying to cope with this, you know, because she's all over him, you know.
I mean, did you see Bob De Niro when he was over here? Because he was a very serious person.
I have seen Bob De Niro as far away as that.
Have you?
I went to the Oscars last year,
He's a very serious person.
I sat in the front row. He was great. I know Scorsese was doing all the blether, and De Niro was doing all his sort of looking away acting. And he only looked about 25. He must have lost about 30,000 stone to do another part, you know.
He's amazing. It's incredible.
Oh, it was very exciting. I met Scorsese after. That was great.
We did an item about an hour ago about a cat falling out of a block of flats and living to tell the tale. We got one or two of the inevitable phone calls because there was a wry grin at one point, you know, cruel to mock cats who fall out of blocks of flats. But you got a 40-foot picture of Saddam Hussein.
Yes.
You're going to get it, aren't you? You're going to get some flack.
No, I don't think so, because it's not... Well, it's the biggest issue in the world at the moment. I mean, I don't know how you felt in January, or I mean, looks like George is going to go and have another crack. He's very, very important, this man.
How do you do Saddam Hussein, dare one ask?
Very seriously. I mean, it's the end. Hitler has been sent to Baghdad by Norman Schwarzkopf. He thinks he's going there because he's been trying to be a stand-up comic in Los Angeles. It's a very complicated plot, but it all sort of makes sense. It all starts at the turn of the century in Freud's studio with Mahler, and it's all very sort of turn-of-the-century stuff. God realizes how bad things are happening at the end of the 20th century. So when Hitler and Mahler go off to New York, completely fictional, he effects a time warp. They end up in New York. Mahler goes off in a Greyhound bus, meets Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan discovers that Mahler has been traveling with Hitler. Bob Dylan goes to the White House. Meanwhile, Hitler's hitched to Los Angeles. He's performing at the Comedy Store. Danny Rose, Woody Allen, is his agent. And then at the end, the denouement is that Schwarzkopf sends Hitler to Baghdad with the Gorgon's head. That's another plot. There are two other plots that have been set up. And he discovers that this is the ultimate smart weapon to turn Saddam into stone, but it doesn't work anymore. So, anyway, to cut a long story short, Hitler gets killed by Saddam, but then God sends Saddam Hussein, Hannibal the cannibal, and he eats Saddam Hussein. That's the end of it.
If only life was that simple, really.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I've got to go and see this because I'm totally intrigued by all these different
But it's not all, most of it's quite sort
you...
of funny. It's not sort of...
No, I want to watch them.
But that's quite dark. I mean, it isn't sort of...
No, point taken.
You know,
Point two.
Yeah.
Well, the word is that Rusty is cooking something in the kitchen. And
Rusty Lee and John Sessions, an unlikely combination.
Surreal, I would say.
Here they are.
Good morning to you. Hello. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you, Rusty.
Smashing. Listen, I've got a fantastic recipe for you today. It's really good. We've got 5 minutes. I'm embarrassing the young lady now. And it's really good. I've travelled all over the place this week. I've been to Bournemouth this week. Do you know Bournemouth?
I've never been to Bournemouth.
Haven't you?
No,
Oh, invite
I'm working on it, though.
It's lovely.
Yep.
Bournemouth last week, Bournemouth this week, and Ashton on the Line last week. I couldn't find it, man. I hope they put some more signs up. You couldn't find it. I'm there in Panthers, so I hope they put the signs
So you're
up.
doing cooking there, were you?
No, getting ready for all sorts of things. Cooking on to yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
Can I do anything to help you?
You can. I've got
Yes.
some biscuits here.
Yes.
We're going to make the base. If you open that
Yeah.
and crush it up,
Oh, yeah.
you're all right.
Okay.
Cut it in half and then
Right.
smash it up. Yeah.
Right.
Come on, right. Right. Just
Right.
empty it in and crush it up.
Yes, I do a lot of cooking at
Do
home.
you?
Oh, yes.
Do come over,
I don't actually. I never cook. I go into restaurants. It's much easier.
pour them in and
Yeah.
crack them up. We're making a base which is similar to a cheesecake base.
What do I bash this up with?
You just bash it. You can either
Yes.
break it up by hand,
Yes.
or you can
You've
roll
got a
it
wee
out
gadget.
with a
You've got a wee
rolling
electric
pin.
thing that does it.
Or you can, you can
Yeah.
put it in a food processor, which you get it to that consistency. But you can have a break up of that.
Okay.
I think it's really nice and
Does this go in as well?
yeah, put it all in. And then crunch it up. Crunch it up. Have lots of fun because I
Yeah.
was doing this with my son yesterday. Loved it. So
We'll
that's
be
the
able
big
to hear
one.
you talking with me crushing
Yeah,
this
you
up.
just have a crush.
Yeah.
But whilst you're doing that, what happens? You put the
Yes.
go.
Go.
You put the crushed biscuit
Yes.
in some butter.
I haven't washed my hands this morning.
Oh no, don't touch them then. You're being
Well, I haven't washed them.
Don't complain, we're not going to eat that
Yeah.
now.
No.
And you mix that in
Yeah.
with the butter like that.
Oh, yeah. Have I got to do
You
this
don't
as
have to
well?
do any more.
No.
Because we don't want to eat that, do we?
I'm just a thick helper in the kitchen. You see.
So you mix that up.
You
I'm
better
coming back
tell me
over
off. You
to
better
you.
tell me off,
No,
Mike.
I'm not going to tell you off.
Fanny Cranny.
Come here.
Flip me around the ear.
Brandy. And then you
Right.
put it like this. Now, what you do is you... Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You
Yes.
press it out.
Yes.
You see that? You press it out
Yes.
in the case. That's with your mixture. And it's simple as that. Once you've done that part, you put it in the fridge. And you let that stay there until you do the next stage, which is great. I started it because we wouldn't have time. In here, we've got corn flour. You say you cook it, Irma, you're pulling my leg.
No, very, very occasionally.
Corn flour and the juice from the pineapples. We've got pineapple and strawberry. It's a pineapple and strawberry meringue pie. It's
Right.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
In there is the mixture for the corn flour and the fruit juice and water. To that, we've liquidized together, mixed together, the strawberry, which is local as well, nice and fresh. Pick them myself. Ooh, don't you tell them. The strawberry and the pineapple you mix together. And that goes into this mixture. That goes in, and you, drop it everywhere. Sugar goes in, just a bit, not too much. Butter goes into this. It's warm. And the yolks of 2 eggs go into that. And you then mix that up together. And that becomes the...
I'm even getting helpful here.
Yeah, you are, because you've seen it.
Keep me the lights on.
And that
Yes.
goes like that.
Yeah.
Then when it's cooked, you cook it together for a further 2 minutes, but we haven't got the 2 minutes. You then pop it, and the rind of the lemon. You must put the lemon in. Gives a nice flavour. Mix that all in. Then you simply fill the case with the mixture when you've taken it back from the fridge.
Right.
And it's more job. You don't know what you've landed into. Have you?
No.
And then you pour
Remembering everything. Remembering everything.
You pour that into the base.
Yep.
And you allow that to cool. You put it back into the fridge, and that cools. So that's your basic pie. Then on top of that, the yolks, when you separated the yolks, you get the white, and then you make a meringue up with sugar.
Yep.
Simple as that to that. And when that's set, you simply spread it all over.
Yes.
And flash it in the oven. I don't mean like take
Flash it in the oven. Right.
It means to put in the oven whilst the meringue just gets a bit brown.
Well, it's very, very hot, is it?
Yes.
You sort of
Quick.
fire it.
Yes.
Like pottery.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, see? They said they didn't know.
Yeah.
Then you land up
Yeah.
with a lovely pie like this, which we're going to have a try, and I believe Lorraine's going to read us the recipe. What do you think of that? Let's have, come on, let's have
Jolly
a round
good.
of applause.
Lovely.
Absolutely
Yo,
splendid.
yo, yo, woo, woo.
Brilliant.
We'll
Lovely.
cut
Shall I
it.
give the recipe?
The old receipt.
The receipt for pineapple and strawberry meringue pie. You will need 8 ounces of shortbread biscuits, 3 ounces of butter, 6 ounces of tinned pineapple, 4 ounces of strawberries, a teaspoon of grated lemon rind, half a cup of water, 4 ounces of sugar, 4 teaspoons of corn flour, 2 ounces of butter, 2 egg yolks and 2 egg whites, and 3 ounces of castor sugar. There we go. And there it is, the finished product. Very nice.
It's lovely. Would you like to try it?
I certainly would.
There you are. Do you want some over there?
Yes, go on then.
That's a bit of bread.
Well,
Nothing.
the tasting will happen, the verdict after the break. With us still, John Sessions and Pamela Power. Good morning again, both of you. John, well done.
What?
Sterling efforts.
I was very helpful there.
You-
If anybody wants to see the omelette that's on my face, they're very welcome to it.
Omelette?
The omelette, yes. I'm
meringue?
very contributory there to Rusty's cooking. I don't think she would have done it without my presence.
Definitely not.
An awful lot of people have seen you, John, and things like Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I just wondered whether there was the traditional British backlash against those who appear too bright and too sparky for some.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some spitting image stuff recently about me, with me going up a certain part of my anatomy. And, you know, it's... no, exactly. I hope there are no children. I hope there are no children watching this program. And, you know, you've got to sort of laugh this off. But, okay, I don't know. I mean, there seems to be some terrible thing that if you mentioning books is nearly as bad as burgling somebody's house or something, you know, and I can't understand this.
The Australians call it the tall poppy syndrome, and I don't think it's unique to Britain, actually. We always say it is, but it isn't, is it?
No, it seems to be very characteristic of Britain.
What do you think so?
But in my instance, it's not so much, you know, like I'm like Frank Sinatra. I think it's because, I don't, in comedy or whatever, I've tried to include things which are hitherto have been considered, no, it's like halfway between theatre and comedy, rather than doing, you know, hello, 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 Mrs., you know, and all that sort of stuff. It's just trying something new, and there's enough, some people like it, but then some people find there's something wrong, you've broken a rule somehow, and you've just got to bang on.
Well, the key thing is don't be discouraged by that. I mean, people have got to be on travelling sales. I bet it did depress you.
What?
Those who say
Oh,
it
of course
doesn't.
it does. Oh, and I was really depressed. I was actually typing up the final draft. It was Sunday night. I was typing it up, and I looked up and went like that. The telly was like there, and there was this puppet. It's the weirdest thing to see a puppet. It's a brilliant puppet. It's got all the jowls and the big door-knocker nose and the eyebrows. And,
But in a way, it's supposed to be a compliment.
and then they had
In a
me with
way.
my arms and legs just disappearing. And I thought, then there's a John Sessions goes up his own bottom to the end. And that did my confidence no end of good that night, you know, it was great.
But you're back the next morning. That's the key thing.
Oh, I was back in the boxing ring the next day, yeah.
Definitely. And Pamela, you're still working away tonight?
Yes,
You're
yes,
working tonight?
yes, in Oxford tonight.
Doing Shirley Valentine?
Shirley, yeah.
And there'll be more bread?
Yes, 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 they're doing that at the moment as well.
Good. Well, good luck to you. Look forward to that. And you're doing a play about Dundee, aren't you?
I've just done a film about it
Yeah.
in Scotland, well, I and others. We filmed in Dundee, the coldest place I've ever been to, and that's after having lived in Canada for 4 years. Oh my
Not
God.
that cold.
We filmed up on Law Hill one day.
Oh, the Lord's
God.
really can get a bit breezy. That's where you go to get rid of your hangover.
I can believe
Blows
it.
out you.
But there was Alan Howard, who's in a very baroque character, and the lead's played by a young lad called David O'Hara. And I play sort of sidekick. And it's a 3-part film called Jute City.
There should be a part for Lorraine Kelly in that. I mean, I'm astonished she hasn't been approached.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm really
She's
glad.
virtually
Should be,
just Dundee.
No.
Well, actually, I went to classes with a lady called Joan Washington who does tons of... I go to her quite a lot for dialect stuff to do a Dundonian accent. And I found it so hard, and I
It's
actually found it
difficult.
very difficult to be funny in a Dundonian accent, because the Glasgow accent is far more
You wrap your
attuned
mouth around it.
to... It's just the dryness of the comedy. So I thought, we'll make him a Glaswegian, and I started as a rush, because about 3 or 4 other people did that as well, so there's more and more sort of Glaswegian characters creeping into what was essentially a Dundonian.
That's a tough
Setup.
one to
I
try.
look forward to that. That'd be good.
We've got to say goodbye, sadly. John
Yes.
and Pamela, thanks very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you
We've
very
got to check up with the old British obsession now, haven't we, the
Yes,
weather.
the weather.
And the company of Ulrika is out by the lot.